Hey everyone, how's it going? It's that time of year again when I spend a little bit of time, let's be honest, when I spend a lot of time looking for grouse to photograph. Now, if you've been with me on my channel for a while now, you know how much of a grouse geek I am, how much I love photographing grouse and any grouse type bird. So I'm back at it again, looking for greater sage grouse to photograph. Now this year is going to be a little bit different than previous years. This past winter, many of the western states received an abundance of much needed moisture and snow. But because of this, many of the areas that I usually look for grouse in are still inaccessible because there was just so much snow. So I'm out here in this new area that I haven't explored before, looking for grouse to photograph. I've got some good leads. I've explored this area over the last few days and it looks really promising, so I'm really excited. This has been a wonderful opportunity for me to explore these new areas, new terrain, new landscape that I haven't before, and get to familiarize myself with these areas a little bit more. So let's keep going, see what we can find, and hopefully find some grouse to photograph this week. Alright, I've got my blind set up in an area that looks really promising. This is an area I explored initially a few days ago while out looking for sage grouse, and I was actually able to find a new sage grouse lek that I've never found or photographed before, just over here. Now, a lek is an area where male sage grouse congregate and display in hopes to attract and mate with the females in the area. And if you're wondering how I chose where to set up the blind in relation to the lek, I've actually got a video where I explain this whole process, so I'm not going to go into much detail here, but I will leave a link to that video in the description below, and I'll put a little card up here in the video as well, so you can check that out and see what my process is when coming up with a plan to photograph these guys. For now though, I'm going to leave the blind here, and I'll see you guys dark and early tomorrow morning. everyone, good morning.
The grouse have been out for a little while now. The sun's just barely coming up, and the light is just phenomenal. I am really, really liking this lek out here. It's a little bit more windy this morning, so I'm really just focusing on still photos and slow motion video. I'm not doing regular video with the audio because I can barely even hear the grouse displaying. They make a really cool noise. And I've got some footage from previous years where you can hear it a little bit better. So I'll put a clip of that here, but the rest of the grouse footage that I'm getting that I'll show you in this video is from this morning. But yeah, they're just beautiful, beautiful birds. I love photographing them. This, like I say, this lek is just absolutely amazing, and the light is just starting to get really, really good. So I'm gonna get back to it and see what I can get here.
What a fantastic morning I just had with these grouse. Oh man, I love it out here. This is, like I mentioned yesterday, this is a new lek, new area, and it might be my favorite lek that I've been to before. This, well, maybe not that I've been to, but my favorite lek that is currently active and that I'm photographing. It is just absolutely stunning out here. There's such a variety in the landscape to get the grouse in. Over here I've got a little bit of sagebrush that they came out of, and I was able to photograph them there. A lot of photographers don't like getting them in the sagebrush. They feel like it's too cluttered. There's just too much going on. I absolutely love it. The colors that you can incorporate into your pictures are absolutely wonderful. So I got a little bit of that over here, and then over here I was able to get a little bit of backlight, some shorter grass and whatnot, just a cleaner image to get the grouse in. And so I really liked that as well. And the light this morning was absolutely wonderful. Such a beautiful, beautiful morning. Out of nowhere, some pronghorn just came. They just came out of nowhere. And I think they spooked the grouse. I didn't see the pronghorn coming. I don't think the grouse did either. There's just so many dips and rolls in the land here that they just kind of snuck up, came out of nowhere, flushed the birds, and they're gone for the morning, even though it's still relatively early. But with the amount of time that I was able to spend with them, I feel like I got some really cool stuff, especially with it being so late in the season as well. I got some fun pictures and video footage. It was a little bit more windy this morning, so I did just focus on the pictures and slow motion video. But yeah, it was just absolutely wonderful out here. I love it. Like I mentioned, it is late in the season for these grouse. With the snow, all the snow that I had in my normal areas this year, I really didn't get out a ton with them to photograph them. And so the grouse season is already coming to a close, unfortunately, but this morning was fantastic to be able to spend that time with them here. Just wonderful. If you'd like to join me next year during next year's grouse season to photograph them, just let me know. I'll put a link in the description below to my private workshop page on my website. Just let me know. There are limited spaces and grouse are very popular, so let me know as soon as you can and we'll get something scheduled, get you on the calendar for next year. And I would love to be able to come out here to photograph these beautiful, beautiful birds with you. Not only will we photograph the sage grouse out here, but I'll teach you about the environment, the landscape that they live in, their behavior, their habits, all that stuff. And I'll teach you how to photograph them as ethically as possible, because that is so important with these birds. They're very popular amongst bird watchers and photographers, but they live a very difficult existence out here. And it's so important to observe and photograph them as ethically and as respectfully as possible, and that's something that I really focus on my workshops. And it would just be fun to get out here and photograph them with you guys. So let me know if you're interested, and we'll get something on the calendar. I'm going to take off for the morning. It's still early, the light is beautiful, so I want to go see what else I can find out here. It's just such a beautiful, beautiful area. I appreciate you guys following along this week. I've had so much fun. I hope you've enjoyed. Again, if you haven't seen my previous grouse videos, go check them out. You won't regret it. I've had so much fun with these beautiful birds and other grouse species over the years. Thanks for following along. We'll see you next week. Have a good one.